I don't see anyone yet. I'm not going to start it yet. Oh, okay. I guess we'll start it. Welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Oh, 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 they love me. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you. Get out of here. And the horse you rode in on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all. We have got a show for you today. By show, whatever this is, it's a hangout session. You know, one where we hang out, do what we were going to do anyway, which generally is undertake our last cup of the coffee. Okay, you might be saying, good idea. I'll enjoy one myself. Let me leave this. Excellent. Well, go get you one. Enjoy your cup of coffee. Or tea, or water, or go juice, or it's 10:30, Diet Coke break. All right, ladies? Those construction workers and their Diet Coke. And then again, we might just be reminiscent of the mid to late 90s. Different kind of construction back then. They had 10:30 Diet Coke breaks. It was all the rage. Anyhow, that brings us to this point in time where we are at this point in time. And you might be saying to yourself, well, where's that? Well, for us, it's right here. For you, it's right where you're at. If you're watching this now live currently, then hello, hello. If you're watching it later, then hello, hello applies as well, because you're watching it whenever there within it resides in that of your mind. Okay? Now, obviously, we've been dabbling way heavier into the philosophies as of late, and you might be saying, there's enough of that crap. Go do something productive. Get a job at McDonald's flipping my burgers. I'm tired of waiting so long in line. Now, you know, whilst that might be on the precipice of things to come, and believe you me, we're going to make them the same way we've been getting them. Ketchup goes on the outside of the bun, right? We saw them how to make videos. Now, they might not have been official, but we gather they were probably pretty accurate in their portrayal of, because the product we have received indicates as much. So, you elbow drop it, ba-dow, and bada-bo. It's good to go. Here you go, sir. Enjoy your day. Oh, my burger's smushed. I sure will. Excellent. You can eat it faster that way. It's not only fast food, fast eats. The parts that are missing, those are tax bites. Okay? If you go to certain restaurants, the people who make the food get to call what are deemed taxes off of your food order. Okay, so if you order a 10-inch sub, it's made in the back of the house, guess what? Todd and Gary are hungry. They each get half an inch off each side. But ow! Num, num, num! Taxes! Okay? That's how it works. Now, you might not be privy to this information or know about it, but, I mean, everyone's well aware. If you order some, you know, kind of shrimp linguine dish, right? It comes with, say, well, believe it or not, it comes with 12 shrimp. But, I mean, you don't get 12 shrimp because Todd and Gary need their cut. Nom, 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 nom. Couple noodles, too. Okay, delicious. Thank you for ordering that. We were famished. We only have eaten half a sub today. Okay? So, you know, you lose a couple that way. Well, you still got 10 shrimp, right? But your server, you shouldn't have been so demanding and asking them to do their job. So they're going to have to eat 2 of those bad boys. But ow, your shrimp linguine is now 8. You know what I mean? But, you know, you get it. You pay your 30, 40, 50 bucks, depending on where you're at. Maybe even cheaper if you're at like a Captain D's. Something like that. I don't know. Is that place still around? Who knows? The point is that it's called taxes. So, excellent. Anyhow, what does that have to do with anything, you might say? Well, everything gets taxed. So, our lives have been taxed as well. And, like we said, Yes, we could go out and get a real job, flipping your McDonald's of the burgers, elbow dropping your ham of the sandwiches of the burgers, okay? Putting ketchup on the outside of the bun, as is required by company policy, okay? And serving it up with a smile, sending you on your way. But, we'll be honest, that sounds like work. And whilst we have been doing work, we look for some kind of reciprocation as far as a symbiotic coexistence therewith. Okay? Now, it's not ideal for us to go and squirt ketchup on the outside of every single item that you order at McDonald's, if that's the route we must go, and our Kickstarter fails, and we end up on the street and cannot peddle our wares of custom 3D printed buttons and books, right? So, we end up at McDonald's, we ketchupize your bun, it's just like you ordered it anyway, because that's how it always comes, bada boom, bada bing, you know, the world keeps going. But, guess what then we're missing out on? This crap? That's right, this crap. Hey! But then we wouldn't be making it! That's right. So, that sucks for us, because if there's one thing we wanted to do, it's coast by on the bare minimum that we could possibly do. That's why we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst on the internet, okay? Now, we don't set our goals so lofty and so high that we can't ascertain them, okay? We bite off what we can chew. And in this case, it's usually what we can swallow. Believe you me, we've been swallowing from the skulls of our enemies, or the heads of our enemies, on occasion, whenever we've had to. And you might be saying, that metaphorically is very disgusting and or seemingly disgusting and problematic, sir. You need help. Well, what are you, a psychologist? That's not a real thing. Well, there's a version of that word that is a real thing. Yeah, I go to school for it. I'm a doctor. I diagnose you. You're messed up. Well, if we're so messed up, you should see what we wrote in this book. Oh, no way. Nice try. Nice try. Okay, fair enough. So you don't want to delve into the Kickstarter. That's okay. That's why, you know, we hang out, we have fun, okay? But we still got to get our hustle on. Okay? If you don't want us hustling to the realm of getting you custom 3D printed buttons that say shite on them, even though it's reverses, okay? You can't tell them there. It doesn't matter. Okay? You don't want the custom 3D printed button. That's fine. That's why we got other wares that we peddle. Quick note series, ba-da-ba-bow. Perfect stocking stuffer gifts. There's like 6 of these bad boys. Buy them all as gifts. Okay, now you don't gotta read them, you don't gotta use them, you don't gotta want them, but lets us hang out here. And, you know, these just kind of do what they do in the background. You might be saying like, no way, dude, I'm not buying your crap. Especially if you're selling it. Well, I mean, Amazon's selling it. You go to Amazon. That's not us, right? So therefore, you know, you're getting around having to support us. Because believe you me, Amazon's cut is way heavier than any fraction that we get. Because believe you me, it is not our intent to get with rich off of this. We merely view money as a construct, and we just need it to constructually be there when we go to swipe magical cards that say, hey, let us trade these for something, right? You might be saying, get your money the way everyone else does, sir. Go get your job. No, we did the job thing. They keep firing us. Oh, get better. Learn to code. You want us coding your stuff? Not a good idea. Yeah, JC in the house. Ah, the big JC. How we miss stuff like that all the time. We shouldn't. We should pay attention to the chat of the box. But there's one thing that we can't do all the time. It's pay attention to everything. Obviously, that's why we have to have literary works and endeavors in the background, paying attention to those that need those to exist. Okay, you might be saying, like, write something for everyone. Well, we're trying to. We're working on it, okay? We got like 10 works, okay? You can get them on the Amazon. One of them on Kickstarter, signed copy with a custom 3D printed button. A couple days left on that. We'll see if it succeeds or fails. Watch someone wallow in self-pity and doubt in real time. But the big JC in the house, and it's another day up and another day undertaken that we are hence therein. So, if anyone, I love my Shyza button. Oh, hell yeah, the big JC got his Shyza button. Blood ow. Well, you know, if anything, that should make everyone else feel jealous. And believe you me, the big JC, the works are in. They are ready. Believe it or not, we'll probably do a live stream of us signing them. Whoa, no, don't. It'll suck. Okay, fair enough. But it's free content. So, you know, maybe we'll get another couple subscribers and YouTube will give us fractions of cents at a time. Excellent. But we can only hope that in the last few days of the Kickstarter, we don't fail miserably and have set our goals too high. But $499 is a lot of money. And we didn't contemplate us having to sell our literary works to achieve that. But, like we said, that's why we bundled it with a custom 3D printed Kickstarter button deal, meal deal. Not food that you eat, but food for your mind, food for thought. All right? That's what we do. The button has a street value exceeding most valuable street items. Well, that is correct. Well, the big JC, we're glad that you pointed that out because, you know, you get one of these custom 3D printed buttons from the Kickstarter, and exactly just that. You know, people want to just stop someone in their tracks and say, shite! That's shite! And when you have a working lecta, okay, shite, okay, it's a lecta, which is a lectin. It's described in this advanced meta-philosophy book. Okay, it's a real thing. Believe it or not, it's a dead-end trail from pre-Socratic thought and pre-Socratic philosophers. Okay, we go back in the old school. We is the old school philosophers in this piece. Okay, and history. Way back, okay, before Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Okay, we goes back to their grandpappy paws. Right? And believe you me, you might be saying, we wish you didn't, but it was a dead-end track. We had to pick up the thought where the trail left off. Because, believe you me, that's how you cosmological philosophy. And we've gotten pretty darn good at it in the last couple months. Okay, we're not even joking. We, you know, hell, we can meta quandary and analytically intake quantum hypotheticals just as good as anyone else, if not better, because we kind of created a working model that lets us do it, and we reverse made it twice, and then doctored it from the ground up to make sure that we understood it all, and good thing we did. So we wrote a book, and believe you me, you might still not want it. My button freezes time, makes me invisible, and helps you fly. Well, it absolutely is claimed to do that by one of the folks and individuals who has it. Now, we cannot make those claims within ourselves, but, you know, ever since we started clicking this shite, we don't want to say that we started writing book after book and our lives have gotten inherently better. Yeah, how many of you sold? We started writing books after books, okay? And we started just making more logical sense laid out in the foundation of where we are. Like, why are we sitting here begging people to give us money when they don't want to? Everyone works hard for their own money, right? No one wants to work their job to pay us, all right? So, when we take it upon ourselves to, you know, ask people to throw a buck or so, now reverse these backwards, don't worry about it. Okay? We knew that wasn't the way to go, all right? We've been doing it. We're sorry, Internet. Okay? We apologize. That's our bad. We thought you wanted to just give us money. But apparently that's only every other fucking channel that we see on here, where it's like, oh, here's some fucking money for you doing something. The guy not even making their own damn content. Anyhow, so we get jealous and stuff like that. Hey, everyone can get jealous. We're looking to cash in on it. So, we wrote a bunch of books. So we'll peddle our wares whilst never doing what the other channels do, just wanting your money for their content. You might be saying, well, their content's worth it. Well, that might very well be. But our content here is always going to be free. There's never going to be a subscribe of the Star Patreon that sets any of this apart from what you get, because we look to fund our hangout endeavors with that of our literary works. And you might be saying, oh, your works suck. Okay, that's why you re-gift them. We're not saying you got to read them. We're saying it helps support the channel. Now, we know that you want something for yourself. You don't want to just get people gifts and not Christmas or birthday yourself. No. That's why we got the combo deal with the 3D printed button. Keep the button, regift the book, 2 gifts in 1. You're not a crook. Bloody hell! You get the button! Exactly. See? And that's what we've been trying to tell you. The button, whilst other folks and individuals claim that it has done remarkable things in their lives, we do claim as well that it has done remarkable things in ours, although not to the same degree. Okay, while some of those other things sound grandiose, and, you know, we would love it if that was a part or a portion of anything that we could do. But what we were able to undertake, you know, is the, you know, look, we wrote a massive literary work, and we got other smaller endeavors. Hey, well, we wrote actually 2 bigger literary works. Both these are bigger works. This one is going to be Fire and Brimstone, not for everyone. Definitely not for everyone. Hey, Amazon don't even really like it. This one, on the other hand, is also not for everyone. You know what? Shit. We should stop writing books not for everyone. But that's why we try and think in advance. And wrote another book that's also, ironically, not for everyone. So, that's why we had to write a book series that, well, ironically, all of them aren't for everyone. Oh, I see our going trend here. We might have to readjust our address and our practice. Maybe we should write books for everyone. But, you know, if we did that, we wouldn't be any better than all these other people who just do stuff for everyone else. No. We have to be the best of the worst. We call dibs on the ground floor level. Daryl Dixon dibs. It's ours. Dibs. You might have seen Walking Dead. We have, obviously. All seasons, feel free to touch us through the internet. Go ahead. Yes. We have seen all of The Walking Dead. Okay. That's enough. We don't know where you've been. Okay. We don't know what your cash says or anything like that. But if there's one thing that we are aware of, it's that now you've been a little too close to us. We got to cleanse the air. Okay, stay on your side of the internet, please. Anyhow, well, unless you're jumping to our side of the Kickstarter, obviously, in which case, let us give you a hand. You come right on with it. Come right on with it. Come get your button on Kickstarter. Oh, but guess what? Comes with a book. We don't want it. We don't. Comes with it. It's a combo deal. Yum, yum. Get that. Eat it. Yum, yum, yum. All right. Anyhow, or watch it fail. Watch us soak in the tears of our misery as we repost it again for $10 cheaper. We won't stop until people pay us to go away. No, stop. No, nuts. Anyhow, public service announcement, do not purchase nor accept any books from Joey. Well, not only is that a public service announcement, that's a life announcement. Thank you, the Big JC. Brings us to our next point. You don't want anything from Joey. You don't want to trust Joey. You don't want to know Joey. Okay? Joey equates to a massive blowy to your life. So, you don't want to chase none of that. Believe you me, he's chasing everything of yours already. Hold on, management's calling. What do you want? We're doing the show. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they public service announcement made. Yeah, we will announce the title as well. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Management wants us to be sure to make note. There is a endeavor being undertaken to make aware to the general populace the dangers and evils of Joey. And now, from what we understand, there are multiple iterations and takes of forms this has taken form in. But as we get more details on it, okay, as we hear from the philosophers involved, oh wait, one of them is us. As we have our philosopher meetings with our philosopher buddies, we will be commencing and disseminating that information to the ones of masses that, stop by. Okay? So, believe you me, those works are as good as out already. It's from Joey, it's a no-y, and if he say, you best go and say no-y. That's right! No-y from Joey. Anyhow, where else do we embark from this point? Now, you might be saying, well, you're talking about endeavors that you're not really telling us all of the components and aspects of. It's like, no. Because there's something that we enjoy more. And that's giving individuals the chance to already get what is promised, okay? You go to a lot of these endeavors on Kickstarter, things of the like, and people promise what is not available, okay? People offer what is not known. People try and financially benefit off what is not theirs, okay? Now, we've undertaken it upon ourselves to try and circumnavigate that infrastructure with having availability where those who choose to seek it can find it that way, okay? I.e., the literary endeavors made the most sense, okay? We're not going to, obviously, be doing what game companies and studios like Tomari Creations, okay, with their video games and everything like that, Luke the Hybrid, available on Steam, okay, all that fantastic stuff, all right? We aren't a game creation studio, all right? We do philosophy, okay? Rock runs the channel. Those charges stuck. He gave us the key to the studio, said, hey, run this place for a bit. Don't crash my channel. I've worked almost 10 years trying to build up ones of clientele, okay? Now, that's beside the point. The point is that management keeps trying to get the key from us, and they can't, because we don't answer their calls, except when you're in the studio, because, believe you me, they still have to pay us when we clock in. So those are the calls that we take, because we're on the job. So, speaking of which, what do you want? We're doing the show. Well, we know we didn't tell you we were going to do it today. Well, we know that you thought we were going to do it tonight. I don't care if you live an hour away. Now, you should have thought about that before we came into work. That's your fault. They really want the keys to this place, I'll tell you what. Anyhow, where we go from here, obviously, is the same route that we have been going. We will keep peddling our wares. We will keep having hangout sessions. We'll keep hosting random poetry clubs and art clubs and things of the like. And they're not going to be for everyone. Just like every movie isn't, every show isn't, every literary work undertaken is not, okay? But it is for someone, and on occasion there might be someone who's like, I need a bunch of stocking stuffers that are variably different, inherently the same. And there's 6 of these bad boys, okay? But Christmas done. Or, hey, I got you the entire series, whole birthday done. That's like 6 gifts. Wrap them all individually. Easy peasy. Go to the Kickstarter, get the custom 3D printed button you keep for yourself, and get them a signed copy from the author to go with it. Like, oh, I know that it's a philosophy book, but, he was signing copies, and I thought of you while I was getting my custom 3D printed button. Pretty awesome. Pretty rad. I don't know. But, it's an option. Or, get them a scarf. What are they going to do with that? Wear it? No. Good idea. Might be cold. But, if they live somewhere like a tropical island, scarf's not a good gift. Maybe advanced metaphilosophy is. Oh, okay, probably not. All right, maybe they're into more theological kind of religious endeavors and studies. Okay, well, maybe they'll like, bless me, Father, for I will sin. Okay, probably not. Okay, fine. Probably not. But that's why we offer the other wares that we peddle. Obviously, hey, they're up there. Amazon.com. Search Shyzabox books. Or do a solid. Go get your custom 3D printed button and signed copy of Delectable. Not only is it a monographing of a philosophical term from pre-Socratic time, well, that's pretty much just what it is. It's a monographing of a term from pre-Socratic time, which, of course, is pretty awesome because whenever you think philosophy, it's always, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and Frederick of the Nietzsche, right? That's all it is. Always Frederick of the Nietzsche, okay? We're going to be honest with you. Frederick of the Nietzsche isn't all that cool of a dude, okay? Now, we're not saying we're any better. But, you can chalk up pretty much all of his entire collected works to one or two good things you extract. And then you just kind of, his picture can hang in the, winding staircase down the annals of philosophy. Okay? So, that's where he kind of kicks it. You might be saying, well, where are you at, Shyzabox? No, well, we're below that. We're in, where the garbage can is? Well, behind the garbage can, there's a spot to hang on the wall for philosophers sometimes. And, we got a small little, 3x5 down there behind that. You can't see it unless you move the trash can, but it's there. Any philosopher can be. We are. Excellent. That is cause for celebration. Because the fact that we're there means that we have undertaken to at least try and put something out into the ether that contributes to the thought and the school of philosophy. And that we have. Okay? We have monographed lectin. Okay? Done. It's right here. Okay? It's a advanced philosophical term from way back in the day. Okay? From before Socrates. Okay? Think Hellenistic period and before and around that time. Okay? You had schools of philosophy that were there probably utilizing lectin in their actual discourse. Theoretically, we don't know. We weren't there. Maybe you were. Maybe you know. Okay? The terminology behind the thought process thereof is very genius in order to be able to undertake very grandiose, complex philosophical thought, okay, and meta reasoning. And you can kind of play with it and convert it into a plausible, extractable, realistic manner of use thereof. Okay? So you could take lectin, theoretically, and we have posited it as a viable theory. Okay? Now, we don't care about the theory. Prove the bioluminescent branium theory true. Prove it false. Prove nibirium exists. Prove branium exists. We don't care. What we care about is the lectin, Scheidt, and Schuyler that allowed us to posit the theory to begin with. Those are viable. Those are real. That is what matters in the entire process. Now, if nibirium, branium is proven true, okay, which you can test it with Bear Rubin, okay, simulated large hadron colliders, okay, particle accelerators, okay, utilizing Bell resonance and frequencies, okay. There are ways to test things with CRISPR. There are ways to do all sorts of things that we posit. It's available on Reddit at r/Shyzalosophy. It's on X at Punk Rock Review or Punk Rock Review, whatever, okay. And, we have posited it and presented it to journals. Okay? They don't want it because we don't follow their moniker of presentation because we don't pay them to put it in their literary works. Okay? We're not going to do that. Okay? We're not going to drop $5 or $6 grand to posit an article's worth of length, okay, on a term. This should only be an article's length. That's a whole book. You know why? Because we needed to monograph it, because, believe you me, they found problem with stuff. Now, ironically, we did just so happen to include, for anyone who's in the mood, we did throw in some notes and whatnot that we have put together, our notes, on different things that we have studied and kind of formulated, come up with, things of that nature, all right? In conjunction in a variety of ways, manners, reasoning, logical, deductions and analytical thought processes, all right? And we have calculated, all right, a variety of different scientific kind of things, such as crazy stuff, right? Bronze as a compound. Well, bronze as a compound? No way, that can't be done. Well, it's kind of like a, kind of alloy-like compound, okay? All right. What is it? Cu3SN. Wow. Well, you could kind of, make it and whatnot and have it be viable, okay? Frequency, diameter, tension, linear density. Well, all of that. What do you mean diameter, frequency? Well, sounds like stuff with bells and resonance frequencies. I don't know. Maybe. But in order to deduce such theory, maybe you could get to stuff like that if you had viable lecta, which we do. There's a couple of them, Scheidt and Schuyler. Hey, we actually, look, a custom 3D printed button that you can get with a signed copy of the book. They're viable to extract theory, whether that theory is true, whether bronze is a compound, okay, Cu3SN, whatever, okay, is viable, whether you can put it together as an alloy, doesn't matter. If you can attempt to do it, then the way that was extracted with which to do it is viable. And if it is wrong, that's one more way it cannot be done, which benefits everybody because it immediately shuts off fallacy and untruth. Okay? We only want the truth. We only seek the truth. Okay? We don't want fake stuff. That's why we write real stuff. Okay? Now, the concepts therein might not be real. They might be metaphysical, but the work itself is real, as indicated, okay, by the entire work's existence, and there being a Kickstarter with which to undertake some of that thought process at the ground floor level. Now, that ground floor level, unfortunately, entails coming across 6 or 7 typos that we have found in the work itself. And we apologize, we will fix it in future iterations. But, being the sole author, creator, layout designer, proofreader, copywriter, editor, okay, conceptual, designer, historian, researcher, fact checker, okay, doing it all leads to mistakes, okay, grievous ones at that, a spelling error, okay. We hate they're in there, but they are. But it's a reflection of the work itself. As imperfect as it is viable, it is testable, and with further work and analysis and insight, it only becomes better and better and better. Okay? Prove it wrong. It's going to be hard to prove the lectin wrong. Okay? Lectin exists. Lecta exist, and we have viable ones. Now, call it what you will. Create your own. We don't care. You create your own. They better be viable, and they best produce working, testable theory. If not, you're ripping off our ideas if you're just using your shit to mirror what we've done. Okay? Now, you do you, we'll do we. Okay? We know where the concept came with, and if we see something written in a literary work or endeavor that obviously, as we don't even want to say that we have, but we've seen a couple little things that have come out where it's like, oh, recent this, recent that, and it's like, I wonder where they got that information from. We even saw a post like, it doesn't even matter, because it's all conjecture and hypotheticals on our behalf. What does matter is that we will continue doing us, and we will continue to present hangout sessions that cover more than just our literary endeavors. Obviously, we're focused on it now, as the Kickstarter is underway in the last couple days. Will it fail? Will it succeed? We don't know. We set our goals aloft. We set them high. This, that, the other. When we cry. Okay? We'll get over it. we'll progress, we'll keep going. It's what we do. Old school punk rockers, okay? We'll pivot, we'll go forward, and we'll sell handwritten copies out of the back of the trunk of someone else's car as we hitchhike down the road of life and say, hey, we're peddling our wares. Why don't you come and get some or something, a Kickstarter? I don't know. Or don't. Go to Amazon. Get them there. Or don't at all. Just hang out here. If you don't got it, you can't share it. Take care of yourself first. Everyone else that you love more than us, not likely, but maybe. Second, take care of everyone else who needs it more than us. Third, whilst we are starving, we are not hungry. We are a starving artist, and there is a difference. Okay? It is what it is. We want you to be able to take care of you first and foremost. For we can barely take care of ourselves. We can't take care of you too. So take care of yourself. Then, when you're good, take care of us. There you go. That's how it works. Give us something in return. We did. Crap. You're welcome. Anyhow, that's going to do it for us today. We're going to get out of here. So if you want to get out of here before us, now is your chance. Go ahead and dip set, because we're leaving. Because, let's see, management lives an hour away. By the time they do get here, yeah, they'll be expecting keys. They called a bit ago. Well, it's probably their cell phone the second time. They haven't patched through. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we got to get out of here soon anyway. They'll be here in a sec. So, that does it for us. We don't need your subscription. We want your money. So downvote the shit out of this. Go to Kickstarter and give us $1. Get off our lawn.